First off, great webcast. So for those who hadn't watched it, I'll give a brief summary. The webcast that we did a couple of weeks ago focused on strategy translation and then the three critical elements of understanding, connecting, and aligning. So Nick, which of these do you find that leaders and organizations tend to find the most challenging and why?
Yeah, it's a great question, Andrew, and I'll take it in two pieces. And the first one I'll take is the connect piece, the middle of the three steps of understand, connect, and align. Because connecting the work of the strategy to your people is a personal leadership challenge. So at the individual level, for leaders, we often find that the connecting is the most complex set of skills because it requires that you have deep understanding of the strategy and also of the work of your people. So you have to be a big picture strategic thinker, but you really have to have intimate knowledge of your work and the ability to see the work through the eyes of your people. From an organizational perspective, however, it's really the align stage that is often the most problematic and also the most critical for today's organizations that are often coming to market with an enterprise proposition, and that means you really have to work across the organization effectively. When you're aligning the work of your people to others in the organization, you have to understand the priorities of other organizations. You have to coordinate your activities with dependent partners and make sure that the work of others that impacts you and the work of others that you impact are all coordinated with your own goals and objectives connected to the strategy. And that's a much trickier activity than just controlling the things in your own wheelhouse. And then finally, there's an organizational culture piece to this, which is you've got to make sure that the story that your people understand about the strategy and their work is consistent with what they're hearing from others at the water cooler and at the Starbucks. Because if there's inconsistency across the organization just at the frontline or execution level, it can really mess up alignment. And we already know from the webinar that most organizations don't report out on lead performance indicators. That's one issue, but often those KPIs are misaligned because the hard work of alignment across the organization hasn't been done. So I'd answer it in two parts like that, Andrew.